Across dozens of countries and thousands of participants, scientists tracking human happiness found a consistent, unexpected data point. Researchers expected to find modest demographic variations tied to income, geography, or age. They uncovered a recurring anomaly instead. People who actively practice a faith, who pray, worship, and live inside a community of belief, consistently report higher levels of happiness, lower anxiety, and stronger resilience when facing hardship. Epidemiological research from Harvard University has documented the scale of this advantage. Researchers there tracked the relationship between religious practice and human well-being over decades. This chart, based on a landmark study in JAMA Internal Medicine of 74,000 women, shows that those who attended religious services more than once a week had a 33% lower risk of dying during the 20-year study period. A 33% difference in mortality forces scientists to look past the statistics. It raises a question about what is physically and biologically happening inside the bodies of believers. Neuroimaging technology allows us to see how prayer affects the brain. At Thomas Jefferson University, Dr. Andrew Newberg has mapped the neurological activity of people in deep prayer. During prayer, activity increases in the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for focus, compassion, and decision-making. At the same time, the parietal lobe quiets. This area generates the sense of being an isolated, separate self. Prayer functions as a neurological intervention, physically shutting down the sensation of being alone while activating the experience of connection. Beyond the individual, there is a collective biological advantage to faith. Human nervous systems are wired to seek group belonging for stability. Scientists call this co-regulation. It is the biological process where our nervous systems calm and sync when we are surrounded by a trusted, supportive community. Harvard research into social integration shows that deep community belonging is a more accurate predictor of longevity than diet or exercise. Weekly worship provides a reliable nervous system regulator. It offers a biological anchor that has served as a primary source of social stability for centuries. Faith also provides a psychological framework for resilience. Psychiatrist Viktor Frankl, a survivor of the Nazi concentration camps, observed that those who endured extreme suffering were often those who held a purpose that extended beyond their own survival. Believing that your life is known and loved by a larger power changes how you process trauma. Hardship is framed as something to move through, rather than a source of destruction. This shift in perspective turns terror into trust, resulting in measurably faster recovery from loss. The data suggest that the joy and longevity found in faith communities are measurable realities. They show up in heart rates, immune responses, and survival statistics. We can now map a physical architecture for belief, a brain rewired by prayer, a nervous system healed by community, and a body shielded from the effects of despair and resentment. People of faith did not require this data to validate their experience. They have felt the effects of prayer and worship in their daily lives for generations. Modern neuroimaging and global datasets provide a visible record of the internal experiences believers have always described. What is felt in the heart is now visible to the scientist. What believers experience as spiritual truth is, by every measurable standard, real.